Let's turn our attention to the Cavs. Big trade for James Harden. And I love the way you put this. Another honeymoon phase for James Harden. Will he finally get a ring?
He's the best. He's the best in onboarding, right? He's had a lot of practice by this time. This is the fourth new team that James Harden has played on in the last 6 seasons, third via midseason trade. So while I'm amazed in some ways that the Cavs look as good as they have without a single practice, they're playing off of hoop sessions and vibes right now. It's also like, well, yeah, he should be pretty adept at this by now because he went from the Rockets to the Brooklyn Nets where he was playing with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to the Philadelphia 76ers where he was playing with Joel Embiid mid-season, both of those moves mid-season. And he went to the Clippers where when he got there, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard were there. And then by the end, it was Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal. And now he's got Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. And just spin the wheel. Where will it land next? I think this is a fascinating trade by the Cavs because there's no question that it gives them a better chance to win a championship this year if all else works out. I mean, particularly when you factor in Darius Garland's toe, which the Clippers are saying still to this, like when they had their when Lawrence Frank, their president of basketball operations, spoke about the Darius trade. He's saying that the most recent Darius Garland toe injury that he suffered against the Philadelphia 76ers probably a month plus ago has healed, but the Clippers are still waiting for the original toe injury, the surgery fallout. They're still waiting on that. So if that was going to continue being an issue, then of course having James Harden over gimpy Darius Garland or potentially no Darius Garland, it's a no-brainer for this year. For this year. Now, how long is it? How long is that a win for the Cavs? Like, is James Harden's 36 years old, age 37, age 38? I mean, we're getting towards the end of the cliff of a player's career here, right? So you have drastically shortened your contention window, at least as it pertains to having another all-star creator alongside Donovan Mitchell. And of course, if you lose James Harden or if James Harden retires, then you create cap flexibility. You go get someone else. We're all thinking about LeBron this summer. He's also 42 years old. You've got your roster is more battle tested, more battle ready for the playoffs right now, but you better win this trade quickly, is I guess what I'm saying. Because if you don't win it decisively by frankly winning a championship is the only way I could see it, then you leave a lot of doors open on the back end for Darius Garland to blossom into the kind of player that the Cavs always sort of seem to believe that he could be on the back end for the Clippers. And I think that's not a trade-off that many teams make is trading the future for the present, and that's in such a drastic dichotomy the way the Cavs have. But it speaks to how concerned they were about Donovan Mitchell's looming extension conversation that's gonna be on the table this coming summer. And if he doesn't sign the extension, then you got to start thinking seriously about what your next steps are. I think it speaks to potentially Dan Gilbert's desire to win and what they weren't seeing. Chris Fedor from cleveland.com reported, I mean, weeks ago when the Cavs were in the middle of their early season funk that Dan Gilbert's not happy about what he's seeing, and something's going to have to change if the Cavs don't reverse their fortunes. Well, they actually were starting to play pretty well before this trade, but it wasn't enough because the Cavs still broke up the core four that they had preached patience on and believed in as a championship core as recent as the beginning of this season. So life comes at you fast, and James Harden comes with his own playoff warts. His efficiency drops in the playoffs. His scoring numbers drop in the playoffs pretty consistently over the course of his career. In elimination games, his numbers are pretty ghastly, particularly recently. The playoff drops weren't as bad or as frequent when he was with Houston, but that was a long time ago, 6, 7+ years ago now. He's 36 years old. His last 5 years worth of elimination game is averaging 13 points per game. He has as much to prove about his playoff track record as the rest of this Cavs roster does, but I think the ceiling on this team is higher now, and I am fascinated to see how the Cavs navigate through this because I again as good when we're talking about honeymoon phases, everyone's as happy as can be. And Donovan Mitchell's got a pep in his step right now that I haven't seen since he got here, at least since I've been here and he's been here. Jared Allen's playing about as well as Kenny Atkinson said. He's playing the best that Kenny Atkinson's ever seen him. No one knows Jared Allen's game better than Kenny Atkinson. But it's been 3 games, and when a guy's main concern is the playoff performance, can we see him play one playoff game before we start crowning people? That's all I'm saying.